come back from vacation and everything sucks. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, July 17th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. I'm going to be covering some news from the past couple weeks because there's some pretty big news stories, so sorry I'm getting to them late, but let's jump right in. Coming up next week, the probably hotly anticipated fighting game of the summer, if not the year, is coming out. Marvel Tokon is the next upcoming Marvel game, which looks awesome. They announced several characters, and next week they will be having a free weekend, a free open beta weekend, July 24th through the 26th, ahead of their launch on August 9th. I think that's the right day. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I know a lot of people are very excited for Marvel. They're adding a whole lot of characters. It's made by a fighting game company. So I know a lot of people are very excited for the upcoming Marvel fighting game. Moving right along, Destiny has finally had their last piece of content. One final thing that they released this week was the kind of grand poobah final emblem for Destiny fans that anybody can then get to if they have access to, I think it's a code or whatever, onto their Destiny account. But yeah, Destiny, again, we're still watching it. Or it's gone, it's done. Destiny's over, but just one more last piece of content to kind of show that you were there at the end. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, I'll have a link down below for you to check out that emblem, and you can go ahead and put the code into your Destiny account and get it. And yeah, it's still sad times. Unfortunate that things had to turn out this way. Riot has taken a little longer than it took Blizzard to start approaching the kind of classic versions of the same game. But League of Legends has announced that it's going to have a classic mode where you can go back and play Season 3, I believe, which was like 22 years ago or whatever. No, it was less than 20 years ago. But yeah, you can go back and play League of Legends per, circa 2010 or so, and play with a smaller classic roster. You'll have the rune system, which I think they've gotten away with recently. So yeah, people can go back and feed their nostalgia with a nostalgic form of League of Legends. Again, very much similar to the World of Warcraft classics of the world. So yeah, just Riot took just a little bit longer before they introduced a classic version of their same game. Like I said, some pretty big news stories hit while I was on vacation, so still recovering from the Xbox layoffs. Arma Shara, the CEO of Xbox, announced that 3,200 employees were going to be laid off. Half of those were laid off immediately. Half of those will be laid off in the next coming year or so. That doesn't include people like third-party vendors or co-developers or any contractors or anything like that. So it's just 3,200 mainline Xbox employees will no longer work for the company in the coming year, which is like we thought the they lost 2,000 people when during after the Microsoft purchase. Just awful. We've already been kind of hinted at that certain studios were going to close down. Some of them have been spun off. We still don't know what's going to be left with Arcane. But yeah, just horrific event. One thing that kind of clarified things for me too was like, this is not being done because Xbox is being operating in the red, for an extended period of time. The Bernie Sanders posted on Twitter or Blue Sky or wherever that like another sobering clarification is like Microsoft made $100 billion last year, so like I don't know what the salary of 3,200 employees are at the Xbox at Xbox, but it certainly could eat into some of that rather than make the line go up. So yeah, this ultimately again comes down to horrible responsibilities to the shareholders, whatever that means. And yeah, it's coming at the cost of great games by great studios that produced, award-winning games, and yet they still get laid off for these nefarious purposes. So, yeah, horrible thing happening there. Yeah, it really sucks. Um, and yeah, my condolences to everyone who lost their jobs. I'll have to double check on all of my friends who are Xbox or ABK employees or anything like that. So it's very unfortunate. PlayStation, not to be outbid in the bad news department, decided to no longer make physical media. So yeah, PlayStation also during these last couple weeks has announced and then gone radio silent because no one liked it. The fact that they will no longer be making PlayStation discs. So you will, after January of 2028 or after December of 2027, you will no longer be able to purchase or put a disc into your console, assuming the next PlayStation console comes out. But yeah, PlayStation got a lot of kickback for they're going to be doing codes and boxes. They're not doing a physical version. Some retailers, smaller retailers, but some retailers have already said that they're not going to put it on their shelves because there's no point because it's just a code in a box. But yeah, PlayStation will not have discs. You will not be able to purchase a physical disc for a PlayStation game in less than a year and a half. So just awful news. And then that happened at the beginning of the month, and it's in the middle of the month, and they haven't posted anything since. Anytime they do try and post something or promote a game, they just get hit with a cluster of people saying this is a bad idea. People are starting petitions, and I jokingly made fun of the death of physical media back in the Netflix physical disc days. But yeah, and it makes some amount of financial sense of the industry has been 80, 90, 95% digital for years now. But it also just kind of adds to they even had their PlayStation 4 trailer or not trailer, but promotion where they were like, how can your friends play your PlayStation games? And they just handed it over. Jason Schreier points out in our recent video that this came with no benefit to the consumer. It was just exclusively negative news. Also comes at the time when people are losing access to their PlayStation movie library, which I'm not quite sure how that works, but you can purchase movies via PlayStation. And because the licensing expired, people just lost access to their movies. So they purchased a DVD on PlayStation or a movie on PlayStation, and now they no longer have access to that, and that money just goes away. PlayStation's always had a pretty negative backwards compatibility issue. I don't know that they've ever been a media conservationist. PlayStation's never been good about that. So yeah, just horrible news. I am for one also buy most of my games digitally. I still have my small collection of physical discs, but yeah, just sucks. You don't own anything, and they just want everything to go through the PlayStation Store. They get a larger percentage. They don't have to worry about the cogs of making physical product. Yeah, it sucks. I think it's a bad idea, and I wish people who didn't want to have to connect their video game to the internet could buy a disc somewhere. So much so that I used to work at a place that did exclusively that, but I digress. In even more bad news, Pokemon, because it's just a bad news show today, Pokemon had a big leak hinting at there was emails involved and back and forths, and how the Pokemon company was expecting players to buy both Pokemons of a generation, so they would want you to buy Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet, which is a kooky idea that you make two products, people are going to choose between those two products, and they're going to do what they want with that. So just kind of insane. And because of that, we haven't even had an $80 video game on the market yet. And PlayStation or Pokemon has said that their next is part of this leak. Has hinted at that they're going to be at the new $80 price point that GTA has set, which compare the two. I mean, you don't want to have to do this for every product, but the two games that are $80 right now are Pokemon Waves and Winds, and GTA 6, which is probably gonna genre define, the immersive sim, with bleeding edge graphics where you won't be able to separate reality from the video game. And then you have Pokemon, which has been using the same engine for like 20 years and with unrendered, backgrounds and stuff like that. So, uh, yeah, that's the those are the choices you're making in the year 2026. I actually think Pokemon's not coming out till next year, but uh, strange that Pokemon thinks that they can push up to that $80 price point, which is just nuts. As not confirmed again. This is just a leak based on emails, I think, or content coming out from the Pokemon company. In a bit of positive news, Zelda has officially signed a partnership with Hasbro to make officially licensed Zelda products with uh, with Hasbro. So you will soon be able to, at all your major retailers, see next to your Hasbro product Power Rangers, you'll be able to see Zelda, and that has caused me, another consumer of another Hasbro product, Magic the Gathering, to spiral out of control and wonder what would Zelda look like in Magic the Gathering. So that's what I've been spending my time doing when I'm not angry at every first party that exists in video games. Yeah, that's just what I've been doing, speculating on what would Zelda look like in Magic. Probably one of the highest. If you ask a Magic player what their what IP or what their favorite brand to partner with Magic would be, I think Zelda would be the perfect fit. Even though I've always said that like Mario would be probably get there first, but hey, they've signed this partnership and maybe that can extend into a bigger one. But we'll at least get officially licensed Zelda toys from Hasbro in the coming years. The plague that ran through World of Warcraft 20 years ago has happened again. There was another incident where a raid mechanic, debuff, escaped the raid and then ravished people within the game. This was studied 15 years ago. This was studied by virologists, people who were trying to understand COVID. We're looking at how this plague in this video game spread. So, and that event has happened again within the last couple weeks. There's a raid mechanic where people take damage over time, and based on proximity, they will get the debuff. And that someone left the raid and they spread it to normal people not in the raid, and it has caused a plague amongst players. So pretty interesting. I think it even took a while it took several hot fixes, several days to make it go away, which is kind of how plagues work. So pretty interesting stuff that that every 15 years or so a plague ravages through the World of Warcraft and kills plenty of players who were not doing the thing that would normally kill them anyway. So pretty interesting stuff there. In some more unfortunate news, the actor who is playing God of War in the upcoming Amazon TV show, who is actually playing Kratos, who was the voice of Thor in the God of War Ragnarok, he has injured himself, some kind of bicep injury that has resulted in him having to be recast. So unfortunately, we will not be seeing him as Kratos in the upcoming God of War, and we will have to get a new God of War actor. I wonder who they will get. But yeah, pretty unfortunate stuff there. Wish for a speedy recovery. Last but not least, in the somewhat good news coming out of Microsoft, Todd Howard has come out saying that, and I think the CEO of Xbox has also said that Microsoft is going to be doubling down on all of its IPs, and that includes specifically Bethesda IPs, which automatically perked up my ears. They reconfirmed that Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. They've officially announced that Fallout 5 is in pre-production. There's a new Fallout Obsidian game coming, which might or might not be Fallout New Vegas 2, but actually it's probably more likely that it's not. But Obsidian will be at the helm working with Bethesda to make another Fallout game. They also confirmed the much everyone kind of already knew, but they have officially confirmed that there is a Fallout 3 remaster and a Fallout New Vegas remaster in the works. We just don't know when. But yeah, exciting to see that these are all kind of official products that will be coming out, sometime soon. Well, in the coming years. So exciting stuff. I got more Fallout news, so I'm excited that Fallout 5 is officially in pre-production. Still means it's years away, but I'm excited for the next one and seeing how it will react to whatever goes on in the TV show, which I'm excited for. But I digress. Well, glad to be back. I missed a lot of stuff, so had to go back. But yeah, very unfortunate news in the games industry. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, please follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!